Welcome back to this next video of the FAQ video series on the KNX IP BAOS 777. In this video we take a look at how we can implement scene functionality in the visualization of the BAOS. Therefore, I'm back here in the EDS6, and the first thing that I want to do is that I want to go over to the BAOS and here into the parameters. And now I want to add the scene control functionality, but not within one of those two rooms, but instead within the building folder here. So those are basically functions that aren't associated to any room directly. So there I want to enable the function b.1. And if we take a look at the function b1 here, there we can see, if we scroll down a little bit, there we have the scene control function. This scene control object gives us the option to control up to 5 scenes from the visualization of the BAOS. Now therefore I will quickly give it a name, simply scene. Now if we take a look at the group objects, we can now see that we got a new group object here on top, the scene object. And this is from the data type scene control. And now in order to hook it up to the devices that should participate in this scene, I simply have to create one group address where I have already created the middle group here, scenes. Now I will create a group address, scene control BAOS. And into this scene control group address, I will now drag and drop the scene object from the BAOS. And then the only thing that I have to do is that I have to link the group objects from the devices that are associated to this scene into this group address. So here we have the dimmer with the scene object, then the RGB light with its scene object, and here we got the multi-IO also with a scene object for the blinds. And with that setup, I can now open up the modified devices folder and download all the informations onto the devices. And now that the download has finished, I can sign in to the web interface of the BAOS, and here you can now see that we got this new building page here with the scene control function. And here we have 5 buttons for those 5 different scenes that we can call. So if I click here on the one, you can see that scene number 1 gets called. And now I can also activate scene number 2, 3, 4, and last but not least, I can also activate the last scene. With this function here on the BAOS, you can call scenes, but you cannot learn those scenes. Now, before we close this video, I want to quickly start the diagnostics so that we can see what really happens on the bus. So therefore I open them up and start them. And then I go back to my scene control panel here and I will call scene number 2. And here you can now see that we got the feedback from the BAOS that it activated scene number 2. And down below we can see all the feedback telegrams from the devices or from the channels that were affected by this scene. And this is how you can add scene control to the visualization of your KNX IP BAOS 777.